In Mexico, two people are scavenging, and suddenly this ugly guy found a knife wrapped in cloth. He holds it tightly and starts walking only to get hit by a car. But strangely, the car is the one that gets destroyed to pieces. He then gets up and starts running. The scene changes to Los Angeles. A mother catering for her sick daughter saw that she has climbed on the ceiling upside down. Help is called, and it's John Constantine, the protagonist, is a heavy smoker. He enters the room where they tied the girl to her bed. He figures out what type of demon has possessed her and makes it lose control from the girl's mind, but it's still in her body. He then asks for a big mirror and asks the people around to hold it right above her and tells them not to look. One of the persons did and became old instantly. John commanded the demon to show itself, and it got captured in the mirror, and John flashed a birdie to it. The demon tried breaking the mirror, and as John tried pulling the mirror out of the window with a rope, the frame got stuck. He applied full force, and it went out of the window, breaking the mirror, and the girl's health is recovered as the demon died. John saw a drawing of the same knife the scavenger had discovered and takes it with him. Back at his apartment, John spits blood as he coughs. Turns out John has lung cancer due to aggressive chain smoking. The doctor told him to get prepared, but John lights another cigarette and says no need, and told the doctor that he knows where he is going, referring to hell. We then see Angela, a Catholic girl who is also a police officer. She confesses to Father that she killed another man today. As she is sleeping, she heard the whisper, "Isabel." Then we see a girl who looks exactly like her. She ran towards the roof and reached the edge. She has some markings on her wrist. She heard her name whisper again, and she jumped from the edge, breaking the glass ceiling above the swimming pool. Angela then woke up at her apartment. Next day, it turns out that Isabel was her twin sister. The other detective claimed that she jumped, but Angela is not ready to accept until he told her that they found a footage. We then see the Mexican man crossing the border. Nothing unusual here, except that the sheep around him started dying, and their bodies also decayed in a matter of mere seconds. John is at his apartment when he is visited by Beeman, who assists him with his supplies used in exorcism and other demon-related things. He gave him holy water, screeching beetle, and dragon's breath. John told him about the recent exorcism he did on a girl, and that the soldier demon was trying to come through to our plane, to which Beeman replies that we are like puppets to them and not doorways. They can work us, but not come through. Still, John requested checking the ancient scrolls for any references on it. John has an apprentice, Chaz, who drives him everywhere. He asks John when will he assist John with his exorcisms. John ignores his questions and leaves. He enters the church and is followed by Angela, who is there to see Father David, requesting a Catholic funeral for her sister Isabel. Father told her that her sister committed suicide, which is a mortal sin, and he can't help. John meets with the half-breed angel Gabriel, who already knows why John has come. John said that he helped so many people and sent so many demons back to hell that itself should be enough to give him a ticket to heaven, but Gabriel told him that's not how it works. All the things he has done are for himself, and that God only wants self-sacrifice and belief, to which John says he believes enough. Gabriel told him that he knows that God exists because he can see stuff. There's a difference. John says he never wanted this curse and told Gabriel that he should be the one to go to hell, which makes Gabriel angry. John asks, why him, and claims that God has a grudge against him, to which Gabriel told him that he'll die young because he smoked 30 cigarettes a day since he is 15. John goes out, and instead of going with Chaz, he started walking in the rain. At a gas station, he is coughing when someone approached him and asked for a light. When he looked up, it's a demon. It attacked him. John used the screeching beetle's noise to disintegrate it during the fight. The demon told John that he should not have meddled with them. The demon chased John to the middle of the road where it got hit by a minivan. Meanwhile, another one of John's acquaintances, a priest, is using his psychic abilities to find new work for John, and that's when he found the Isabel case. Angela is back at her home, looking at the last footage of her sister, and that's when she heard her sister say, Constantine. When she rewinds, it was blank, and she never said anything. John decided to go to the Midnight Club. His apprentice Chaz begs John to take him along. John says,
"Sure, you can get in."
I can get in?
If you can get in.
at the entry, they have to guess the picture on the other side of the card. John guessed it right, but his apprentice could not. Inside the bar, there were half-breed demons and angels having fun. He went into a private room to meet the club owner, Midnight, who knows that John's health is in bad condition and asked how long before he is dead. John claimed a few months or maybe a year. Midnight remarks that whenever he does,
You're the one soul he'd come up here himself to collect.
John told Midnight that a demon attacked him. Midnight said that's impossible. Demon can only be in hell and angels in heaven. John then asked to use the chair, as there is something unusual going on, but Midnight detests the theory. Back at his apartment, John is visited by Angela. John told her to go away, and then she flashed her police ID to him. She has done research on John and told him that she knows he is an exorcist and that she needs his help. She said that her sister also had psychic abilities, and recently she had committed suicide, which she doesn't believe to be true. She wants him to find out what made her jump from the building. He said,
where she'd be ripped apart over and over in screaming, brutal agony.
Later, he saw something unusual following Angela, and he rushed towards her. On the way, he told Angela that God and devil made a wager, a bet for the souls of all mankind, but there's a rule. No direct contact with humans, just influence. Angela says there is no devil. Humans are capable of doing bad by themselves. All of the street lamps start to go out one after another. Sound of flapping wings can be heard in the dark. That's when John lit a cloth wrapped around his hand and burnt all of the flying demons. He then told Angela that those demons were after her. They are at Angela's apartment now, and to check if Isabel committed suicide, John will visit hell to see if she's there, as it is a sin to commit suicide. He asked Angela to get out of the apartment. Time stops as she closed the door. John is now in hell. Some demons started chasing after him. As he gets close to Isabel, he realized they were twins. She removes her hospital band, which floats with air. The demons almost caught up to John as he tried to catch the band and burst the bulb filled with the holy water on his chest to get back to his plane. Angela asked him what happened, and he told her that indeed, she committed suicide while showing her hospital band to her. Meanwhile, the priest visits the morgue where they kept Isabel's dead body to check what entity took her soul. He holds her hand and suddenly realizes something that shook him to his core. He started hearing noises, and to cope up with them, he became an alcoholic. His flask was empty. He rushed towards a wine shop. He tried drinking from the fresh bottles, but it won't come out. We then see another man, a half-breed demon, Balthazar, who is enjoying the scene. Turns out, Balthazar was playing with the priest's mind and made him believe that he could not drink, while in reality, priest chugged the liquor to his lungs. He then left a final message to John by stabbing his hand with a pin. John is eating street food with Angela and told her about his childhood, how he used to see things that no one else can or should. His parents were normal and thought he was a mental patient, and he believed the same, until one day he died for 2 minutes, which felt like eternity in hell. He realized that everything that he could see was real and accepted it. He then told her that heaven and hell are behind every wall. While angels and demons can't cross over, half-breeds are born here and can influence people with words. And when a half-breed breaks the rules, John deports them back to hell. Angela gets a call from Detective Dodson, who summarizes the accident, how Father Hennessy drowned himself in liquor within a matter of seconds. John came to the location as Angela permits him. John found the sign left by Father Hennessy on his hand. John asked Angela to take him to the location where her sister died. He told Angela to find a clue in the hospital room, a clue that only she can find as they were twins. She must have left a clue for her. After some physical tension, she discovered a clue left on the glass window by her sister, which mentions the 17 act in the Bible. Angela remarks that there are only 16 acts in total, to which John replied that there are 21 in Hell's Bible. John shared the symbol with Beeman and asked, what does the 17th act say? Beeman shared that 17th act mentions about Mammon, son of the devil. Mammon has no patience for his father's rule in hell and wants to recreate the human world with fire and blood to rule over it. John says it is impossible for him to cross over, to which Beeman told him that he can, by possessing a very powerful psychic along with divine assistance. Suddenly, Beeman felt some unnatural activity. A fly crawls out of his eye. John realized something wrong is going on. They reached to his location, but it was already too late. Beeman's body was covered in flies. John told Angela to go away, or she'll have the same fate as his friends. Angela disclosed that she also had psychic abilities just like her sister, but she never accepted them, and then she lost those powers. But now she would trade places with her sister if she could. Angela then told John that she wants her powers back. He agreed, but also warned her that she won't be able to back down later. She will see them, and they will see her. During the process, she asks if she needs to take off all the clothes, to which John paused for a few seconds and she smiles. He then told her, John pushed her into the bathtub filled with holy water. She starts to struggle as she could not breathe, and time almost stopped. Suddenly, the bathtub broke, and she started seeing things. She went to the same place where Beeman died, and she felt something shiny and round. She kneels down to find a coin. John knew it was Balthazar's with one look at it. John prepares for a showdown with a gold-plated crossbow-like grenade launcher. They visit the building where Balthazar is. John gave an amulet to Angela and told her to stay in the car. Balthazar is looking at himself in the mirror when he noticed something strange. Suddenly, the mirror explodes and John throws holy water on him. John takes out his knuckle punch with a cross engraved on it and starts punching Balthazar. He told Balthazar that he has only two options. Either he tells John how Mammon is going to take birth in this plane and then he'll deport him to hell, or else he'll read his last rites and send him to heaven where God will forgive him for his mistakes. As John is about to complete the ritual, Balthazar told him that Mammon will use the blood of Christ. Angela joins John. He told Angela that Mammon will use the spear that was used to kill Jesus, the spear of destiny. Angela said that they still have to locate a powerful psychic, and John replied, "Not really," while looking at her. He then asked, "Where is her amulet?" She realized she took it off in the car, and suddenly she is pulled through the building, breaking all the partitions. John tried catching up to her but could not. John visits Midnight along with Chaz. He told Midnight that he wants to use the chair. Midnight disagrees and told him that he is not biased and won't hinder with the balance. John told him that Beeman and Hennessy are dead. They were his friends too. Where's the balance now? And asked for Midnight's help as his last wish. Midnight took him to the chair that was used to execute over 200 men. John sits on the chair, and Midnight used electricity on him, and he induces vision with the help of souls, and found out that some guy found the spear, and he is taking it to the same hospital where Isabel died. The hospital is also filled with half-breed demons who want to welcome Mammon on this plane. John prepares equipment for a final showdown. Chaz, who has been learning alongside John, says that half-breeds are most vulnerable when their outer skin is burnt with holy water. Midnight is impressed by Chaz and told him to see him for a membership after he has finished the mission. Angela is in the pool along with the Mexican guy. She started shooting at him, but bullets go through him. Angela tries to get away, but he pulls her back into the pool. John and Chaz reach the location. Chaz heads to the water tank where he threw the cross of hysteria into the water. John goes inside the hall where Angela is being guarded by demons. John gives them a warning to leave or else he will deport them. None moved. John lights a fire near the fire alarm, causing the holy water to sprinkle on demons. John then starts shooting them, killing them instantly. The last demon came to attack John, but he is out of bullets. Still, Chaz shot him, killing the last demon. Angela is dunked in water that lubricates the transition from one plane to another, and she reaches hell. She is surrounded by soldier demons, and then she hears her name. It's Mammon. He comes near her and possesses her. John and Chaz reach the swimming pool area, and it turns out the Mexican guy is already dead. Angela then attacks John and pushes him into the water as he tries to perform an exorcism. Chaz helps John, and they both perform the ritual together. Finally, Mammon loses the possession of Angela's mind, but he is now inside her belly. Chaz starts chanting mantras in Latin, and John follows him, ultimately improving the situation. Chaz is about to make his catchphrase, but is pulled by an unknown force. He is then thrown like a pinball. John rushes to see if he's all right and finds him dead. John invokes the being who took Chaz's life with the alchemical symbol tattooed on his arms. Turns out it was Gabriel who was behind all of this. Gabriel reveals that he disdains humans, no matter how cruel a human. If they repent, God forgives them. He wants to unleash Mammon unto this plane so that people who come over are truly worthy of God's love. Using his powerful breath, he threw John away. John pleads to God, claiming that he might not be God's favorite, but he can use some attention, but realizes if God won't come, someone else will.
With the one soul he'd come up here himself to collect.
He cuts his wrist with the piece of glass. As Gabriel is about to use the spear of destiny, time slows down until it's completely stopped. Lucifer has arrived. John wants to have a last smoke, and Lucifer helps him light it. John then tells Lucifer that his son wants to take over him. He is in the other room. At first, Lucifer thinks it's another one of John's cons, but then John tells him that they have the spear of destiny, which alerts Lucifer. He goes on to check and found what John said was true. Lucifer saves Angela, and time starts to flow again. Gabriel is startled to see Lucifer there. As Gabriel is about to punch Lucifer by invoking God's power, he could not, as God does not have his back anymore. His wings are burnt, and he is thrown away by Lucifer. He also tells his son to go back home and sends him back to hell. Lucifer then goes back to collect John's soul and asks him for his final wish, and he asks to let Isabel's soul go to heaven, which Lucifer fulfills. As he is taking John with him, John becomes too heavy for him to carry. Then we see John's soul going to heaven for the sacrifice he made, but it is not at all accepted to Lucifer. He grabs John and tells him that his soul only belongs to him as he pulled cancer out of his lungs. By doing so, John will now live and will have a chance to prove that his soul belongs in hell. John is astonished to see that his wrists are healed, and so are his lungs. He goes on to check on Angela, who is also awakened. Gabriel has lost the divine powers and became a human. John remarks that he doesn't deserve to be human. Gabriel tells John to shoot him and take his revenge, but John punches him instead and introduces him to pain and tells him to get used to it. John walks away, and Gabriel is happy to see that he has chosen a higher path of forgiveness. John visits Chaz's grave. He puts his favorite lighter on his grave as he committed to quit smoking and tells him,
You did good, Ken.
As he walks away, he hears wings spread out. Turns out Chaz became an angel, and he flew above.
Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers by hitting on that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.